Do you own a property adjoining a water body? Do you have a property that its boundaries fall beside a water body? This episode is for you. Sit down and let's learn about our rights as individuals who own properties beside a water body. It is called riparian law. We have what we call riparian law and we have what we call riparian rights. But first of all, we're going to look into riparian laws first before we start talking about the riparian rights, because you need to know the law and then you know how the law works for you, then it becomes your right. So what's the riparian law? The riparian law are legal principles governing the rights and duties of landowners. Listen to this. It governs the rights and duties of landowners whose properties are joined to a water body, like let's say streams, rivers, lake, and the rest of it. It involves, you know, it involves issues concerning the water rights, water use, and the quality of water. So this is what riparian law is all about. The chief purpose of having a riparian law is for proper allocation and proper use of water. Proper allocation and proper use of water. Sometimes some people will be like, you know, they have more rights than others. They come to colonize the water body. Now some other people will not be able to use water body because they are in charge. But it is wrong. If in the riparian law helps to for proper allocation and use of water bodies, to other riparian owners or riparian laws. Sorry, riparian owners, or those are riparian rights. Now, what are the scopes of riparian laws? What are the scopes? What scopes are they covering? Number one, reasonable use of water. The riparian law helps to establish a reasonable use of water. That is for domestic use, for industrial use, for what we call for irrigation purposes, and for recreational purposes, and the rest of it. And number two, it establishes the riparian rights. Now, there is a law, riparian law, but this law helps establish the riparian rights. We will talk more about riparian rights later. So as of now, just know this, that is number two scope of riparian law is to establish riparian rights, number one. Okay, let's use that number one now. And number two, it helps for what? To establish the reasonable use of water. Number three, it also helps to establish what we call public trust doctrine. It helps to establish what they call public trust doctrine. This is a doctrine that helps, for navigable water course, whereby water courses where boats, fly, ships, and the rest of it. Then number four, it helps to establish what we call riparian buffer zones. The riparian buffer zones, these are areas of vegetative areas, that serves as habitats for aquatic animals and also helps to maintain the boundary of a water body so that it will not go beyond a particular place or beyond the limit. These buffer zones helps to establish that. So the riparian laws establish this so that individuals will not encroach into the water body also. So then the fifth one is the riparian law helps also to establish what is called what they call the 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 riparian, and then it's called the natural flow doctrine. Yes, number one, let's recap again. Number one, it helps to establish what riparian rights. Number two, it helps to establish the reasonable use of water. Number three, it maintains the public trust doctrine. It establishes also the buffer zones, riparian buffer zones, and then the fifth one that establishes the natural flow doctrine. This is a doctrine that states that um, the natural flow of a water body should not be altered by a riparian owner. Someone that has this riparian right should not alter the what is it called, the natural flow, should not alter the natural flow of a water body, so that it will be able to get to other people that also have riparian rights. So, having established this fact or this knowledge, let's now look at riparian rights. Now, what is a riparian right? It is your right as an individual to use a water body reasonably. It's not about using a water body. Some people, okay, if you go to the riparian areas, most of the people in the riparian areas don't have toilets. They use the water body as their toilets. So it is not a reasonable use of a water body. So the riparian right states that you have the right to use a water body reasonably as long as you have a property adjacent to the water body or adjoining the water body. This is a riparian right. Yes, and this right helps you to cover number one, the reasonable use of the water. It must be used reasonably for domestic purposes, for your irrigation. Maybe you have a farm and you want to irrigate it. You can use the water to irrigate your farm. You can use the water for what is it called? For your industrial use. You can use the water, for any other reasonable something, any reasonable use purpose. Then number two, this right helps you to make sure that you don't alter the natural flow of this water body. For instance, someone may just come and then build let's say a structure altering the flow of the water. Yes, some people do that. It is wrong. Now, as a riparian owner, you have the right to use this water. If someone else should go and alter the natural flow, you have the right to sue the person or to report the person to the government. And the government will, the law will take its course on the person. Then number three, access and use. You have the right to use this water. You have the right to access the water at any time. Let's say you want to go for fishing. You have the right to fish. You have the right to do your boating on it. You have the right to swim it. It's not the kind of that in this community, strangers don't swim this land. No, as long as you have a property beside this water body, you have the right to swim the water. You have the right to do your boating on it. You have the right to fish in this water body and the rest of it. It is called access and use. This riparian right gives you access, gives you the power, the right to access this water and to use it. Then number three, we have collaborative right, scope, whereby every individual or every riparian owner, everyone that owns a plot or a property adjoining this water body have equal rights. Nobody's right is bigger than the other person's own or higher than the other person's own. No. Nobody has more rights than the other person. It is equal rights. Then number four, we have it is not transferable. This riparian right is not transferable. You can't transfer it to another person. As long as you own a property, the right remains on you. The day you lose that property, the right goes off. You can't be using you can't have a property outside that area and expect the law to expect that right to still be for you. No. The moment you cease owning a property, that property that adjoins to the water body, that right goes off. Then finally, water quality. You have the right to desire or to have a quality water. If you see anybody messing up the water body, you can report the person to the government. You can sue the person for street liability tort. Yes, street liability tort, whereby the person is causing harm to the environment, messing it up, messing up the water, hurting other people. Then the person can be, can be charged for civil wrong. It is civil wrong, but it's not a criminal offense though. It is a civil wrong. So the person can be sued and the person will compensate monetarily or through another remedy, maybe cleaning up the water body and the rest of it. And also, before I end this teaching, also know that riparian laws and riparian rights varies depending on the location, depending on the country, depending on the state, and depending on the jurisdiction where you're residing. So all of these affect riparian laws and riparian rights. So with this little information, I hope you've been able to get something within these few minutes. And with what you've learned, you know your rights now, and you know that there is a law, a law backing you once you have the property that adjoins to a water body. Don't forget that we sell properties. We help individuals sell their properties. Maybe you have a property and you want to sell it fast, you want to sell it with ease and speed. Don't forget to let us know. You can call us on the number displayed on your screen and we'll help you market it. Also, we will help you if you want to buy properties, maybe in the diaspora and you want to buy a genuine property. Feel free to call the number on your screen on the screen and we'll get back to you. We'll get across to you as soon as we can and we'll help you purchase a property, even a building. We can as well help you do that. You tell us your location, where you want to buy it, the location you want to have the property, and we'll help you get a property there with ease and speed. Thank you and God bless you. Feel free to call us. It's still Goodman Properties. Love you.